My mom had me when she was young. Actually, she was still in high school.
Yeah.
She was 17 the time when I was born. So I think she was doing grade 11. Even the time when we started dating, it used to be a really big challenge because
Can imagine.
I was so rooted in reading the Bible. And I used to feel that, you're still trying to find yourself around these teenage years. Like, I used to feel like when I'm dating, I'm sinning.
Dumelang bagaetsho kwa gae and welcome back to Conversations with Madam President, a show that brings you stories of hope and possibilities. And it's exciting to announce that today on our show, we have Dr. Katlego Sebogodi.
Thank you.
Welcome to Conversations with Madam President.
Madam President. Thank you.
How are you doing?
No, I'm superb. I'm superb. How are you?
I'm good. Northwest is in the house.
Yes, indeed. Greatness.
Ntse re bolela ke Gauteng le Malimpopo yaanong bokone bophirima bo fitlhile.
There's Limpopo that, but not as this year now.
I'm so happy gore itse keng ba bokone bophirima ba etsho kana. You are in the house with us.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, there's a lot of us out there. Just that maybe but we'll get there.
We'll get there. But I feel like I'm connecting to where I come from. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for inviting me. I feel very privileged to be called here.
In this platform, we celebrate excellence more than anything. We see to it that we honor excellence because it's something that is very rare. And when it's hidden, we look for it and we bring it here and we celebrate it.
Okay.
So please tell our viewers, who is Dr. Katlego? Where are you coming from? Just give us a background of who you are.
Okay. Greetings. That question is normally just a hard question because you don't know what exactly to say. But Katlego Sebogodi,
Dr. Katlego Sebogodi.
Yeah. I still consider myself young. I am young. But he's a young man from Zerast, Northwest, from a village called Dinokana. By profession, I'm a mathematician. Also author, Yedi Buka. I write maths books. I do a lot of projects with high school learners, even universities, who try to bridge this gap. Because if ever there's one thing that I feel that it's the core value, it sits very the way people are struggling with maths, it just does not sit well with me because I feel that it's one of the funnest subjects. Maths is it's fun. It makes sense for fun. I feel like
we ran away from it. It was hard.
I feel that maths is fun. It makes sense. It's a language.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe the fear around it. You try to or no, actually it's like this, it's like that. That's why I get to be involved in. That's why actually I got to write the books. That's why I get to do a lot of these projects because especially for kids that are not so privileged or they come from these backgrounds, because sometimes that's how they get to define themselves. But because from such background, I'm not privileged. Because actually I come from there. People laugh at times when I tell them that actually my dream car used to be a Toyota Tez. That was my dream car. The way I saw myself, I could see this Tez with some BBS mags, shining, dark windows,
sound.
And I felt actually if I could get this car, I would have made it in life. Because you think of cars like your Porsche, your Ferraris and all that. You think these cars are not attainable. And actually, please don't attack me. You get to feel like these cars are for people that went to private schools. These ones, and again, the way I define private school is different from the way people think private school means sent what.
Yes,
For me,
yes.
if you're taught by a white person,
Yeah.
if you did first language English, it's a private school.
Yeah.
So all those kids that went to whole school, even because they say it's public schools, but for me, yeah, you know that there were those school bags.
Yes.
The one that
yes.
looks like box sonyana.
Yeah,
you
it has
so
layers
like,
nyana
yes, I was like,
inside.
if you had that, you're privileged.
Now it speaks to where you truly come from, because when I'm listening to you explaining to say, tears at that point made sense because of your imagination at that point was limited to where you are coming from.
Yes. That is what you saw. That is what I was exposed to. And even in terms of careers, obana ma teacher le mapodisa le masole, that's the only careers
That you see.
that you see. So for you to even say, oh no, I want to be
an engineer, for example.
an engineer is like
We bony guy. Where did you see it?
It's like you working hey, you just reminded me of something.
Share with us, please.
I get like, especially when I was in high school, if you learn from childhood, I've always had this thing, no, I want to be a medical doctor because that's what every kid says. But now, I used to be like in high school.
Yes.
I remember actually, when I was doing grade 10, the teacher on Twitter was teaching me physics.
Yeah.
Was always encouraging me because apparently with the Anglo, these mines, they were giving bursaries. It's like, no, man, you should take this bursary. And that time, by grade 10, it's like, no, I want to be a medical doctor. These things of engineering and all that and all
They're
that.
not mine.
And honestly, it was not that I didn't want them. I think I didn't know what an engineer is. And I'll be honest with you. I thought a civil engineer, whenever they build these roads, there's always this person with a flag, red flag, just stop and go. I thought that's a civil engineer. So in my head, I'm like, how do I go to school to
be there?
I thought mechanical engineer are those guys that are always, dirty, and I thought so. That's why I felt like I don't want to go there. Mining engineer, you always see those people crawling.
That's what we were exposed to. That's what we always saw.
Yes. So that's what I thought engineering is. So I'm like, this looks like a tough life. I don't think I want to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, when you get to be exposed to these things, because of limitations, it's exposure, you felt delimited the way you dream, the way you see things and all that. But I've always knew that I'm born for something greater.
Yes.
But I just didn't know what it is. Exactly. And I didn't know how will it come about. It's like you always, I think the nice thing for me, I think actually, my parents for you, and I've always been in church.
Wow, that's
if you learn the values, they were, hey, I'm gonna tell you a lot.
Please, because I wonder, the person that you are today, I believe that derives from the kind of childhood that you had, the parents, the covering, and the guidance that you had. Please tell us more about that, especially your home. How was it like? Your parents, how were they like? And young to be the man that you are today. And what is it that you value the most about them?
Okay. Because if you I'm going to say a lot of things.
But we have time.
Okay. But let me start at the end. What I value about my parents is that my parents valued education, they valued kereke, they valued larato mo modimo, to be gonna mo modimo. So that's one thing that actually I feel like my parents really instilled mo gona. Okay, going back to the childhood. My mom had me when she was young. Actually, she was still in high school. She was 17 the time when I was born. So I think she was doing grade 11 at the time. So she even had to drop out, go school around Kudis a few years. So I think what's in like night school or something like that. School, But my mom was very brilliant at school.
So you took after her?
I'd say that, yeah.
Or the combination?
No, I think I took after her. But I think she was something else.
Wow.
I'm saying that, I'm saying that because my mom, got 2000 the time when I went to varsity. I went to
Yes.
varsity in 2008.
Yeah.
No, 2009 I was doing my first year. My mom was also doing first year go university for another degree. She felt that she wants to do nursing. So, mind you, I mean, my mom, I think that time she was already 40 something. She was in her 40s. So, onale me o tsenang class. Obviously, she's in class with people of my age.
Your
But she was
age.
the best student. And mind you, she has a husband, or pela ko kerekeng, she's very active in this, she's doing this and all that.
Responsibilities as
Ona le
well.
bana, wa bana, and all those things. But
Her dreams never, she didn't let her dream die. She pursued.
yeah, but well, that's what I'm trying to say. She was
Yeah.
very brilliant. Okay, back to the childhood. So yeah, so now that my mom had to go back to school, so I came memogolo.
Yes.
Memogolo le ena o na le bana ba lekana le nna, so
You know, the cousins.
yeah, and that time, my mom was not married because she was still young.
Young,
So
yes.
it was hard where you all stayed. So all kids, one bedroom. So it's like there's two bedrooms. Bedroom
know.
ya bagolo,
Ya
ya bana, then kitchen. But yeah, so that's where I grew up. Then, like I said, going to church on Sundays was something that was not negotiable.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, so every Sunday, and not
Yeah.
youthy. I was also singing in the church choir. Then my mom got married.
Yeah.
Then we moved from, because that time Narena at her parents' place, but her parents were not mobile.
Yeah.
Yabona? So then when she got married, then she got to move. But we were still within
the same
Dinokane, the same
area.
village.
Okay.
Yabona? Yeah, but now my mom went to varsity for in her early 20s, maybe around 25 or so,
Yeah.
I don't know. But she went to varsity. So that time I had now stay with my dad. But my dad was a soldier.
Oh,
Yeah, my dad was a soldier. So you know, my soldier people have
But deployment, this and that.
So time and again, they had to call somebody to come stay with me and things like that.
Yes.
My dad's little sister.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Rakadi was in high school, so everything was fine. But then when Rakadi went to varsity, so now they had to always call a relative to come stay
and
with
stay
me
with
and all
you,
that.
yeah.
Sometimes if there's the relatives not around, then I had to get some and things like that. But the time, I think midway grade 4, I got tired.
The move around.
Because I would, after school, I'd go home.
Yeah.
But somewhere around 6, I told
You
kids
Yeah.
Pakela. Because at that time, actually, electricity was still. Electricity.
Yeah.
No, I think never to install you, never to go.
Yes.
Because I remember the time, 10 rand electricity. Yeah, give you 30 something units.
Yeah,
10
yeah.
rand.
That was a
Never-
lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
But either way, motlakase no diriswa go apa. Sometimes but ko teng go memogolo, we still cooked outside. So
yeah,
in
yeah.
the morning around, well, you didn't know what time it was.
Yeah.
But whenever you get to be waking up, you have to go and look for woods. Even for the young ones that are still go creche and all that. So I got tired of that because at home,
Responsibility.
so I started now ditching so I basically started sleeping alone.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a sense, I started staying alone when I was in grade 4. Of course, Nanto Amangwe, hey, it's not safe and
Safe
all
to
that.
be
but-
alone, yeah.
But yeah. But one thing that I remember, you'd always find the house clean. I think that was something that I was struggled with at Dikotolo.
Yeah.
You'd find the dishes, but in terms of the house being clean, and even my friends maybe coming, we would never find that. I always kept the house in order. And come Sunday, as much as I was staying alone, even around grade 6, even when you start your teenage years and all that, I've always put church first. Like, I would never miss church. I would always
Yeah.
be church in time to even prepare the tape, to wipe the chairs and all those
Yes.
things and all those things. Even the time when you started dating, it used to be a really big challenge because
Can imagine.
I was so rooted in reading the Bible, and I used to feel that you're still trying to find yourself around these teenage years. Like I used to feel like when I'm dating, I'm sinning. I used to feel like it keeps me away from God. Like there was a lot of guilt in me.
Sure.
So I remember this other friend of mine.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, we have to stop this thing. We need to be good kids. I remember him come to me. Again, I tried. But, yeah, but for me, I stayed to the course. Yeah, so basically that's how I grew up. So I went to middle school, still staying alone. My parents would come a couple month end or sometimes got some weekends, but for most of the time I was staying alone. Oh, my dad and I baraka koma fiking.
Yes.
Like I said, so now organize the transport or
Come and go.
yeah. So sometimes around 6 in the evening she would come. Around 6 in the morning she what's So yeah, but it was not really all the time. Sometimes I got a big but sometimes we finish 2 weeks sadly because sometimes I would night shift again and things like that. Yeah, then I went to middle school, but high school, that's when they took me to boarding school. So I went to boarding school for my grade 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And again, because like being in church was very much rooted in Mohana. So even the time when I go to varsity, to high school, in boarding school, I still associated with people who was looked for services and all that. And actually my first week I got my nickname. Boarding school. My first week was in boarding school. They started calling me Moruti, meaning pastor.
Yes.
Reason being, I went to a service. And at the beginning of the year, people are still...
We're still scared to come out.
And all that.
Because we're still reading the environment and what's happening.
But for me, I wanted church. So there
That's
was
all you wanted.
Sort of a youth service. And they were saying, can anybody give us a word and all that? I don't know.
There you were. You stood up.
I stood up like, no, the Bible says in verse what? And there I got my nickname. So... yeah, so I think that's my high school year. Yeah, for my entire high school year, I was called Moruti. Because grade 10, you'll find other people that have been organizing church service because we're not allowed to leave campus to go to our respective churches. Boarding school. So we had to organize pastors either from outside or even if there's a learner who's willing to give a sermon and things like that. So I was in that committee of organizing, making sure that every Sunday we have a service or there's a sermon. If we don't have a pastor, I'll also volunteer. Yeah. So
which boarding school did you go to?
Oh no, I went to Mutswedi.
Oh yeah, I can hear the language. Or this is where we went to. that organizing, but it's unfortunate for us in Nalika Gaone. We used to organize bashes instead of churches. You remind me of those days. It was really amazing. And one thing I pick up from what your parents taught you at a young age, I mean it's very rare for as young as you were. You kept yourself so grounded and so disciplined. What inspired you to be that way? I mean, when you are left alone, a child can just think like, yeah, it's time for me to be mischievous. But you kept to your values and you were grounded. What really inspired you to continue to apply the teachings of your parents, how they taught you, how they raised you, even when they were not close to you? What really compelled you to do that?
To be honest, I think, okay, at home, I wouldn't say that we are poor in terms of how poor is, or I know
how we
people that are
define
really,
it.
really poor.
Yes.
We did have food, but we are not rich, right? So now, at home, the only time my parents would give me money is for anything that is school related, either for service or for a school trip or something like that. Otherwise, there was no money. So that, I think it got to be instilled in my head that actually for me to be fine in life, then I need to stay at school. Sure. So in whatever that I could do, like I said, that I was staying alone, but I would never skip not doing homework or not studying for the test or things like that. or not going to school and things like that.
Yeah.
It's more like I've had this thing in me that, my future is in school.
That's it.
If I don't go to school, then hey, it's over now.
The focus on its own. It's really impressive.
Yeah, so that's why I ke nnile thata yana mo sekolong. I mean, obviously I was mischievous as any other
Any
kid at
child,
school and all that, but I still knew that school come first.
Comfort, that's true. That's true.
So I don't want people to think that I was this kid who was always quiet in class. Whenever they write names of people and making noise,
You were not there.
I was
It
there.
was the
I was.
What is that? Because I know Motswedi High School has built so many of us. In terms of independence, it taught me to be independent, to be creative, to learn from other people and embrace diversity more than anything. And we had this community, man. I don't know how to explain. It was a community where nothing was foreign.
Yes,
We could accommodate just anything.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing community of kids from different places. We had learners from Pretoria. We had
Yes, we had a variety of kids. Whatever that you want to
Yes.
find yourself in, if you was Kotani, you like
But
rich, those
we
kids are
learned
there.
different cultures from there. So what is one moment that really stuck in your mind or in your memory that brought you so much joy when you were at Motswedi High School?
Okay, I think maybe I'm about to get to that moment.
Yeah.
Growing up, I never saw myself as an intelligent kid. For me, I just thought, like as much as we can write a test, then I get 60% and you get 70, that person. I thought it was like that.
It's normal.
So I thought I didn't really put one and one together that, no, my guy, as much as that is like that, but you're always getting 90 and other. So for me, I didn't see myself as this kid who's brilliant and all that. I just thought maybe other people didn't study enough or something like that. But my first time, I think somewhere there was some award ceremony.
Yeah.
Tinko Motswedi. And so each and every first term, there would be award ceremony for the results from the previous year.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lady called Kifile Sekhalwe. She was doing matric the previous year. She got 7 distinctions. I think that's when I started thinking that,
It's possible.
yeah, that's what I want. Because now, that's when like you said, you get to learn a lot of different things. You get to see people that are really focused and all that. So the memory to come to the memory that I remember was that my first award ceremony. Meaning now I'm doing grade 11.
Yes.
We're celebrating my grade 10 results. And so it's like they were giving awards, and I think I got about 5, if I'm not mistaken. So it's such that actually the teachers, because they get to call you, give you an award, then you go
And
sit
that's
down, they
it.
call another person. So they end up now saying, no, don't go anywhere, just sit
Because
here.
now the stage is yours.
Yeah, because now I'm
You're
just busy
forever
going
here.
round and round and round. So I think that's one of the moments that I felt my parents were proud.
Yeah.
And my parents were also, just like any other parents, people will be worried that, you're going to go in school as a boy,
Now
you're going to start
Itaola.
smoking, going to do all these things. But for me, I stick to the script. I know I'm here for this. Yeah.
So that I remember, you know what? There are those teachers by Longhore Barutile from Motswedi High School, and I just feel like this is the right moment for me to just appreciate them. Now for me, it was Ntate Ditlopo, Mr. Ditlopo. I get he was a teacher. I was doing the streamer tourism.
Yeah.
So he was just one person who instilled so much discipline in us, and he was so firm. And at that time, we did not understand.
Yes.
But right now, I truly appreciate the discipline he instilled on us, because we are what we are because of what he instilled when we were at school. We knew when it's his time. when it's his period, things are just going to, but he expected nothing but excellence. And he wanted us to have discipline because he understood that discipline will take us very far. And going back to, you mentioned something very important. Tahore, there was an example that enabled you to see that it's possible. You made an example, and that is something it's lacking in our communities, because remember, it's very hard to dream beyond your circumstances, but when someone from your community is making it, you are able to put them as a point of reference to say there's Black excellence in this community. That means for me, it is possible. And I appreciate that about you, because dinukana leone ke motse. It's not a township, ke motse. And like there's no hope. We're just here because God has been merciful. But if you can see where we come from, you wouldn't say that's where we come from. But we are just grateful for everything that God brought on our journey, starting with the boarding school. It has instilled so much in us, the culture, the discipline. Shout out to you, Mr. Diklopo. You really did a great job. So for me, I was like, how important it is to you to always be an example of excellence, especially to a Black child, understanding where we come from.
I think, like earlier, I used to think that some things are meant for certain people because they come from certain backgrounds, or they went to certain schools, or because, for example, but like even Skaftin, primary, we know how long an teacher, mama, nurse, or a police, French, so I used to think that such people, the future,
because we can't afford that.
Yes. So it's very important because I come from such, having such perception and all that. So basically, it's very important for me to not discharge or
divorcing yourself from your community.
Yes, so I'm not detached from home. So that's why sometimes I get to go to these schools and get to. I used to organize a lot of science trips because it come to Joburg in and I'll be like, what's the trips? The only trips that we get from schools or from rural schools, Zoom and all those things. It's like only fun. So I used to organize these science trips for them to come and get to play and get to see where electricity come from, how this is done. I used to feel that because they get to make them do some little experiments.
It's
and
amazing
like
experience
that,
for
which
them.
brought inspiration. So that's what I'm saying, that it's very important for me to not detach from that, because we are the example to these kids.
Absolutely.
Because right there, social media is the one that is
very influential.
Very influential. So think the people that the kids see are people by mama to school, the parents are millionaire. So kids all of a sudden say like, no, I don't need school. And they don't think that actually it's not necessarily this path would lead there and things like that. So being able to be there to somebody they can relate with, somebody they can know, or no, this person actually is not different, does not have a different background, and things like that. Yeah, so that's why I'm very close to, especially to rural schools. These kids, they're not really so much privileged and all that. That's why I'm very close to those schools and try to make sure that these kids, they don't see themselves as less worthy or, as if Bone, and things like that. Even kids from Mokopa. I used to do a lot of projects in school. Because there used to be some transport and from So that's what I'm saying, that it's very
shout out. So it's amazing, because for me it's very much important to bring that example of possibility, because the reality is in our minds, if I can't see it, I don't believe it that it's possible.
True.
So when I see that someone from my community made it, it gives me that same drive to say it's possible. then I get to have that inspiration to ask, how did you make it? What is it that I need to do? So it's very much important, especially in our Black communities, from backgrounds that we always use the influence we have to bring hope to the hopeless, because that's very much important. Getting into that, Dr. Katlego Sebogodi, I've got 2 copies here. It's Star Series Maths for grade 11 and 12. And you shared with me that you've got actually 5 books that you compiled, some mathematics. Can you please tell us about the journey? What made you write them? What problems did you want to solve? What is your why in all this?
Okay. Honestly, it used to hit me, because like I said, for me, I never really saw myself as this kid who's brilliant. I thought we all have different talents.
And
it is what it is. So until you get to a certain point, because I used to enjoy math, or I still do. But what I used to do when I was in high school, like maybe introducing a topic that I've never seen. Let's say logs. I've never seen logs before, financial maths or whatever. I used to go and take my textbook and do all the exercises in the book. And from there, I would never have to study it again.
Because you've done there.
So that would create time for me to do other subjects and all that. But the point that I'm getting at is that it used to not sit well with me for me to be understanding and to be doing very good in maths and have other learners not doing well. And because... So even in high school, I used to give extra classes. I used to ask my teacher to prepare maybe exercises for us to do on Saturday. So nearly I get an extra class to my peers.
To share the knowledge that you have.
To my classmates. So the reason I got to write the book, because like I said, in high school, I used to show them how this is how you practice maths, this is how you do maths and all that. So I wanted now to spread the word, even to other kids, I don't have a relationship with. So that's why I got to write this book, because the books basically they get to teach you on how to practice maths, how to deal with, how to grab concepts. Because I think one of the reasons, maths, and I'm not dissing any subject. Let me give example, geography. Geography, if you guys were learning about sand or about soil erosion and all those things. It's a topic on its own. When you get to do the clouds, it's a different story. It's a topic on its own. They are not interrelated. Same thing as like biology. You can do reproductive system and get to do an ear. So even if you failed to understand the concept from reproductive system, you're still not disadvantaged.
Because you can pass the other.
But maths, everything's all intertwined. So the topics are not separate, they are all intertwined. So if you get to not understand one topic, it can disadvantage you. Domino effect. So that's what I got. I started wanting now to impart and get to show these kids, this is how you practice maths. You first focus on this. If you can get this right, then all these others will follow. And things like this. So that's why I got to write the book. And the same thing as a university. Because I've taught at a number of universities. I've taught at Northwest and Mafikeng campus. I went to Black University. I've been to VETS. I've been to UJ. Currently, I'm with UNISA. And from all these universities that I've been to, I had to deal with, should I call them gifted kids? Okay, let me not say gifted kids. Let me say mainstream stuff, maths. Because maths is normally a service module. You'll find that a person is doing economics.
Maths is just one of the modules.
But I've dealt with students that actually they really need maths. Like maybe they're doing their degrees BSc in physics.
And
maths
is important.
Very or they're doing actual science, or they're doing engineering, or they're doing BSc in maths. So now. And so for that, it means that now we're talking about cream of the cream for most of the time from high school, because these kids are first years. But now you find this kid got 80% in high school, or they got 90 something in high school, but they come to university and they get to struggle with maths.
Sure.
And you get to see that actually some of the high schools, or the way they are taught how to cram maths. And you come to university now, you need to know what you're doing.
Application.
So that cram and pass does not work that side. Or sometimes they were just taught how to do a problem, like a method. Step one, you do this. Step two, but they don't really understand mathematically what exactly are they doing. So now when they get to varsity, you have to take those steps and now get to apply them in other areas or in other topics and things like that. And they couldn't comprehend or get to put that together. So that's why I got to write the books. And I wish actually I had some, because I got to, I wish I had some reviews with me here to show you the reviews. They're amazing.
I'm sure it's amazing because I'm looking at this one. It's grade 11.
Yeah.
It has all the practical solution to assist our learners, and we also have the grade 12.
Yes.
And you shared with me that you're also writing for universities as well. If you can dwell much into that as well. We started with the grade 11 one and grade 12.
Yeah.
Going more about it.
Yeah. I started first with the grade 12 one. The grade 12 was my first book because, I mean, we get to do a lot of revision with because they are writing exams and all those things. So I started now getting to see that gap. That's when I started writing the book, so that whenever I go to these schools, basically, I was not writing the book to sell it. I was writing the book to have material that I can use or to give the kids to assist. So basically, that's where the whole idea came from. Then it was something that I would do when I was bored. So if maybe I'm bored, maybe while I'm watching a movie, I'll be sitting to a laptop and just typing. Or maybe I'm sitting with my friends, I'm typing. So
mathematician at work.
So for me, I didn't really see it as work. It was just
something you enjoyed doing.
I mean, it's high school maths. How hard could it be? So it's not something that needs you to concentrate, because I mean, can wake me up at 3 a.m.
That's a gift right there. And we truly appreciate your gift, because so many of us struggled with maths in high school. So that's why we truly want to appreciate this is a gift, and your ability to be able to share it with others in terms of content, in terms of books, to say, this is my knowledge and I want you to do great in terms of mathematics, because like you said, we grew up saying maths is hard and we approach maths ka fear.
Yeah, because honestly, that's what I'm saying, that it hurts me to see a lot of people being disadvantaged by maths. Right? Yeah. Because people see maths as, they have this phobia for maths, or you get to be told, hey, maths, this. And the other part is that, I mean, you've seen that whenever you apply to university, they always want to know how much do you get for maths. Right? And bursaries and things like that. So because now other people or people will get to struggle with maths, they get to be disadvantaged, they don't get to university, they don't get funding, and then the next thing, they are trapped somewhere, or they get to be pushed into some avenue that so it got to hurt me, because I feel that I'm not saying that everything, but I feel like actually maths has a lot to do with the change that we need in the future career-wise.
Yes.
I mean, look at right now, we get to do a lot of robotics. There's a lot of programming that needs to happen, and
it's going to be a subject next year in most schools. I'm not sure, but they're going to add it as a subject next year.
Okay, let me put it this way, to make you understand. For me, and again, I'm not dissing other subjects.
Other subjects,
With maths. Let me give example, business studies in high school. Whatever that you studied in business studies, characteristics of what are advantages of a sole trade and all those things, when you get to the test, they'll ask you exactly that. But when it comes to maths, even if you solved this particular question by factorization, you won't get the very same problem. It's the concept that you need to understand to be able to apply to any question that comes. With. So with that, that's why maths, it trains your mind
to always
think and be able to apply yourself. So it's no longer just copy and paste that
I'm answering questions, then it's done.
Yeah, so you need to always apply, and sometimes you come across some problems that you've never seen before, and somehow you have to apply your mind. So that's why they say that maths forces you to think,
apply your mind
and things like that. So that's what I'm saying, that for me, I feel like actually having maths on your side can give you a very big advantage.
It's an
because
advantage.
it helps you to think even out of the box. To, okay, how do we need, I know that I need to use this thing, but how, and all those things. So that's why I'm trying my all best to try to impart my knowledge or my skills into other people so they can help them. And
It's a good thing, and I truly wish that maybe you should go the route of having the Maths app. You know,
that's what I'm working on.
Amazing. So that's amazing stuff, because I'm looking at things now. Kids are more focused on the gadgets, and most of the work is done there. So if they have educational apps like that, that means we are winning.
Yes.
We are truly winning.
I was talking to you earlier, and I was saying that actually for me, I'm working on a series of books.
Yeah.
And basically, these books later on will become an app. So basically, this app will be able to accommodate any kid with whatever, how gifted they are. So even if you struggle with maths or struggle with any topic, you can start you from as basic as possible and just get to build.
So it has different levels.
Yes, it has different levels. So even for kids that are advanced and they need more, it can be able to give you a challenging so the app basically.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on, and
as well, you can be able to track your progress as to
yes. There's going to be there's going to be different levels, and if you are slacking, says that if you're slacking, then take you back.
You emphasize more on That's amazing. That's amazing. So how is it going, and is it fun to to develop and work on that? Have you already started with that?
I have started, but not the programming part of it, but the content of it, of being able to accommodate different kids. Because I've done a lot of tutoring. I mean, as a lecturer, you have to be able to accommodate both the kids, different level of different kinds of kids, and be able to understand them and come to their level and things like that. So basically, I'm trying to take that and get to impart it. Because the other thing is that, for example, having PhD in maths, I always feel like it's your PhD.
Yeah.
And if you die with it.
With it.
And you can't say that, you know what, somebody's going to inherit it.
No.
So that's what it got to beat me, that, you know what, what's the point of me having this, gown and having all this, and say that, no, I'm a doctor in maths, I'm a professor in maths, but kids are struggling with maths, and here you are. And that's why I'm trying to develop all these things, because I want to impart that knowledge. I want to impart that skill. I want to impart that love for school and for maths in our kids. I'm trying to find a way to make it enjoyable, because I feel that it needs to be fun as well.
It has to be. It has to be. And with us, actually, it was very, very difficult, because you adapt to the knowledge that maths is hard, and automatically it becomes hard. You don't. It's not fun. You just see as that subject, now maths is coming. Already the attitude towards it is summer. But I'm so glad that we have you here developing all those apps, writing series of books to make maths interesting for our kids. I mean, that's making impact. And it's something that I couldn't miss. But to share with the world, to say, guys, you are making impact and making sure that our kids are enjoying this, because now things are moving in the direction. Mathematics is becoming very much important in everything that they do. So we truly appreciate your contribution. We truly and just looking forward to the future. What kind of impact beyond this do you wanna make in the society? Beyond the books, the apps, when you're sitting down, or this is what I want to achieve. I want to be able to say, if I've done this, then I've done my best.
I think it's mentorship. I felt that actually, especially coming from a village or a rural area, a lot of, especially male boys, even girls, I don't want to exclude them. Sometimes they don't have people to look up to.
Oh, yes.
And we get to struggle a lot as young boys as trying to fit in, because you're still trying to find yourself. So you try to look for what is cool. You want to be accepted.
Sense of belonging.
Yes, you want to have some kind of sense of belonging. So basically, I want to be able not just to have a center where kids can be able to get help with maths and to get competitions and things like that, but I want to be able to have a center whereby kids can be able to call it home, be able to have people they can identify with, or
Yeah.
be able to look up to, have mentors and people sharing their dreams. So I think that's something that actually I want to see it happening.
That's amazing, because one thing that I've realized is that we are neglecting the boy child and we're focusing on the other side so much that we don't see the need for balance, to say if we mentor girls, we need to mentor boys as well, because this is a community where they live together. If we mentor the one and leave the other, how are they going to relate in the society? And the stats are saying it all. I mean, the GBV, and it's a lot that is happening, the killings and all that. So I'm glad that you brought that concept, because you'll be solving a serious problem, because they also need to feel loved, recognized, and appreciated, to say they matter. Because the mistake we make as a society is that we truly focus on the other gender and forget that if we don't mentor the other one, how are they going to relate to the ladies, to the girls as well? So I truly appreciate that idea, and I believe that one day it's going to happen.
Yes,
I
thank
truly
you.
believe nothing will stop it.
Amen.
It's going to happen, because already you are doing great things. And the mentorship you are offering there at home says a lot.
Hey, because like I said, most of these boys,
Yeah.
let me talk about boys, is that they have no one to look up to. They have a lot of pressure to trying to prove themselves or prove to the society, or actually try to have a voice. So some of them, it comes through bullying. They think that actually if you're the one who's taking all bets on, then
Known
how
for
it's
that,
you
now
are,
you-
that's how you can show your value and things like that. So so they to try to find themselves, they think it's through superiority, and superiority in the sense of bullying others. So you see the gender-based violence, the way ba betsa banyana ka teng, hore, "Hey, wena o ka se mpolelle," and things like that. They think actually this is them trying to create value for
yes, to
themselves.
say I can be seen if I do this.
Because sometimes there's some societal, I don't know, but things like which are true. Like for example, man is a provider. Let me give an example, which is true, right? But I feel like the context can miss.
Yes.
Provider for who? And what does it mean?
How do you define it?
How do you define more? Like and there's sometimes like when I would do concepts like monna given, for example.
No,
As much as it's sort of a joke, but sometimes I've seen that actually there's a lot of guys where they get to identify with it, and they get to feel like, because I'm not this, that means I'm not man enough. And you get to see it, especially when they don't work or they don't have money. Oh, actually you see it when they have money. And that's when you get to see it on older brothers. When they have money, they get to feel like everybody actually should own everything. They should own everybody. And since that's happy where that's when you start seeing, because you get to some of these things of not having these values instilled, and you get to see men with big tummies going to girls with no tummies and leaving them with big tummies. And now the next thing, they are nowhere to be found. And now it just gets to become a
It's
chain.
a circle.
It becomes a chain and like that. So don't say that if I get to get these men to these kids from a young age, so they can know who they are, have values from themselves. Because I mean, a lot of kids, like we said, especially from these rural communities, most of them, they don't know their fathers. Or sometimes the male figure in the family, is a drunkard. I'm not saying that if you drink, that means you don't have things
There's
to
a difference
teach and all
between
that.
drinking and a drunkard.
Eh,
So they get it.
Yeah. So sometimes they don't have somebody to look up to, because sometimes the person that's supposed to be looking up to the person is abusive, the person is, and things like that. So
And you get to believe, this is all I know.
yes.
This is what, like if my father was abusive, therefore you can't treat a woman well, because they don't know. There's no element of example that they took from. There's no sense of example to say my father was treating my mother well, therefore I'll treat my girlfriend. So you see where there are a lot of problems that derives from our background, and we've got a lot of work to do in terms of that mentorship.
And same thing as with a girl child. Somebody was telling me that for most of the time, a girl will define love by the way their father loved them.
That's true. And imagine a girl who never had a father.
Yes, because actually, can you believe somewhere in when I was still trying to learn how to date, I think I was in university or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a girl that I tried dating and she dumped me. And her main reason was that hake mo shapi.
Sure.
So if hake mo shapi, it means what hake mo rate. Is the way she defined love.
Yeah.
But like, for example, getting miss call or like for me not causing the drama or no, I'm calling
Why
you. What,
did I call
and all
you and
those
you don't
things.
pick
It's
up
like,
my
no,
phone?
we're now on that because and all those things. So I'm saying that this impact is not only for just the boy child, even a girl child. Because they need to have values and they need to know what is it being loved. And
what does it mean?
And not dating for survival. Because that's another problem. Some of them feel worried, like the whole thing of...
And some don't know that they are dating for survival. For them, it's a way of life. So it's a very deeper wound. Because a girl child, we tutela rato from papa gage. So imagine you never had love from your father. That means you're going to learn to define love from outside. True. And your father rejected you. So you go for the very same people that rejects you. Sure. That's why you find women holding on to toxic, not only toxic, but relationship that destroy them, that put them down simply because that's all they know. True. That's all they know to say, I can't define love outside of this. So that's the role mentorship plays, because someone thinks it's normal, but when they have people who mentors them, they get to rewire their mind. Oh, okay. Actually, there's true love. There's sanity in this world. There is safety in this world. There is security. There is respect between two people, where I can be able to voice my voice without having to be put down to say you are nothing. You can't tell me anything because you are a woman. So it takes a lot. It takes that deep rooted traumas that we really need to.
It's a lot of work because it's something that has been happening for generations, and truth be told, that sometimes we try to look at our parents for guidance in some of these things, but they got to experience that.
Survivor.
They got to experience that, so they get to also replicate it.
To say this is the way to go.
Yes, I mean, for example, the way kids by Lahore in, say, primary school, they got to be beaten by their parents, like beaten as if it's not their own kid, beaten to the pulp. And actually, when you get to research, you get to see that actually this parent was beaten like that. Yeah. So that's what they get to practice.
And also have a partner who beats them. Oh my God.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of generational
patterns.
It needs to stop. So that's what I'm saying, that somebody needs to. That's why I'm saying that for me, I feel like, you know what, I don't want to find myself just chasing to be rich or to be and all these things, and whereas actually there's a lot of work to be done. Speaking of which, and again, also interpersonally, I'm not saying that for me I've all things figured out. Other people
we are learning.
Other people going to help. I don't need help. I also had to outgrow some things. Like, for example, I used to overgive. I used to have a problem overgiving.
Was it from a point of you overgive to be accepted? Or was it a point of overgiving because you meant? Because remember, sometimes you overgive expecting a certain outcome. Some overgive just because they want to be recognized, accepted, or seeking some sense of belonging. And sometimes you don't even really, you just do it because at that point you needed it to feel a certain...
I don't know, maybe you will help me, but I don't think I wanted recognition. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, I have a very weird way. I remember things from my childhood. I don't know, I talked about it and people are like, you remember things?
You have a good memory.
Yeah, my grade 1.
Yeah.
That time, like I said, my dad was a soldier, so they used to move him around. So when I was doing grade 1, I think it was 97, we were staying in Poch.
Yeah.
And there's a village called Ikacheleng, and there's a school called Paladi.
Yeah.
So that's why I did my grade 1. So now, and there used to be a transport, because we used to stay in military village.
Base,
so
yeah.
but they used to organize some transport to take us to schools and all that. So now, at home, whenever I went to this kaftin, so at school, there were a lot of kids that would come to school without kaftin and all that. So I used to share a lot. But now, the only problem that I had was that these kids wouldn't all come at once.
Yeah.
Then Harwaja, another one comes. So you get to share whatever that you have.
Then
now you're
another
left
one
with the
gets-
quarter, and this one. So just like
I
that.
get you.
It even got to a point whereby, because my mom would notice that whenever I'm from school, I'm hungry and all that.
Yes.
So it even got to a point whereby my mom had to organize the security. Whenever I come to school, take my scarftin, take it to the principal's office. So I had to go to the principal's office for just scarftin is
Because when I are a feeding scheme.
because yeah. So during COVID,
Yeah.
I used to have I used to conduct extra classes in Zerast.
Yeah.
Because I felt that actually I want to impart, this is what I want. Because the idea was to have a center.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, I need to start small. So let me start first having these extra classes.
Yeah.
So I used to travel to Zerast
Hello.
every week.
Yes.
Every week. So every Friday I have to travel to Zerast. And I think actually I didn't know how to do some certain things. You'll have an idea, but the execution of it in terms of looking for funding, I'll try to do everything by myself and taking from my own pocket. And trust me, it used to cost me.
I can imagine.
Big time. And you remember the time when petrol was like 30 rand?
Yeah.
8 rand?
That was the time we were traveling to Zerast every weekend.
Yes, I was traveling to weekend, like I forget the toll gate, and yeah, and obviously now you have to, because you can't buy groceries there and there. So obviously I want to spend the whole weekend. That means that now I have to be buying takeaways and all that. I think actually the whole experience. Oh, and I got some guys that volunteered to come and help me
With the center.
Yeah. Because we used to use some high school in Zeras. So I went to the high principal and asked actually if we could use the school as a center. So on Saturdays the kids from different schools will come there. We'll do some maths. Yeah, from around 7:30 until around 1. So we'll get to do maths.
On Saturdays.
On Saturdays,
Wow.
yes. Even there's a guy who had a degree in physics, but I think he was still waiting to go to and do his honors. So basically, was just home. He's like, "No man, let me come and help you." So he did the physics part, and I held the maths. And there were other guys that also came to volunteer to become the tutors. So meaning in between when the teacher is teaching, they'll walk around the kids and help them and things like that. But now all these people they are not working. So now I got to compensate them from my salary. So that's what I'm saying, that I'll take my money and I'll get to give these guys whenever I'm able, maybe it could be 1.5 each or 1,000, whenever that.
Assisting.
It was not necessarily much of a salary because it didn't really necessarily have a frequency and all that.
But it made a difference.
Yeah, because sometimes you get to talk to them one-on-one and they get to tell you their challenges, that at age I don't have this, or there's no electricity at home and things like that, and so it even got to a point where, because since all this thing, it's so much of my dream and I want to see it happening, I did try to look for some funding there and there. Maybe I didn't try harder, but I didn't get funding.
Yeah.
And I felt that this thing still needs to continue. I did, like I said, oversharing or sacrificing yourself too much. I have a house in Northcliffe.
Yeah.
I ended up moving from a house, renting out my house.
For income.
Yes, for extra income. And like, if I move, get those people, they'll stay, they move to the house, pay for itself.
Rent,
so it will free this money then and all that. And eventually, actually I've never told anybody this.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I was homeless. Sure. So even the place where I was renting, it even got to a point whereby it seemed expensive to me.
Because you could not manage the
Yes, because I'm taking out a lot. I'm trying to do
nothing
this.
is coming in.
Yeah, because I'm saying that you have to print for the kids. Sometimes there's a test, I have to mark for them, create this, do this, so and all those things have to come from.
Transport, paying the guys that are working for you.
Yeah, and of course you're traveling a lot, so time and again you have to service the car, time and again the tires are finished, like all those things. So I remember there was this other time, it was recess at the university. And so there was going to be 2 weeks recess, and the 2 weeks obviously we were back. And that time I was like, but am I going to, because during recess I was going to be home in Zeras.
Yes.
So some part in me, in my head was like, but if I'm going to spend 2 weeks that side, wouldn't it be a waste if I'm paying rent for the whole month and I'm only there
2 weeks
2 weeks? So I stopped
paying.
the rent this side. I moved out from where I was staying.
Yeah.
So that actually to save the 2 weeks money.
Money
Like,
that
no,
you had.
The 2 weeks, man.
I can save money.
Yeah, I can save money. I had a friend who was staying in Bram. So I used to spend the night at the library. Studying at the library. The friend was working from home.
Yeah.
So during the day I would go and take a nap and freshen up and all that.
Later on the same routine.
Push the whole night at the university and just working on my books, working on this, just trying to find something, doing research and things like that. Basically, I was trying to paint a picture of sacrificing as well.
But there's a positive side too, because every great person or every successful person who left the blueprint of greatness, I'm talking about the great authors, they really made impact, whether in mathematics, in business, in leadership. It only takes you traveling the journey to know what is what and what is not.
True.
And I want to say to you that you didn't know, you were driven by passion. And sometimes you figure things out on the way. We sometimes we just go overboard because we want to see something happening. But life is a way of teaching us, no, don't do it this way, do it this way, limit here, don't do. So which is not something negative. It had to be a lesson to say, we don't do this to this extent, come back, think about this, maybe focus on this, don't overgive yourself in this area. So it had to happen for you to know.
Yes.
And you were driven by passion more than anything else. And that's what I get out of this, to say all those sacrifices was never for nothing, but it was in the name of, I want to see young people make it, and I want to see my dream coming true of imparting this knowledge that I have.
True. Yes. It's something that I felt that actually I want. If ever there's one thing that I want with my life is this, I want to see it through. So whether there's support or not, I'm doing this. So it was coming from that.
And from that, coming from that, did you believe, when everything was happening, did you believe that it was the process? I mean, I know for sure that it hurt you at some point when things didn't go the way you expected them. And it's part of the process. You only realize it's part of the process when you get on the other side. But when it's happening, you're just like, why am I failing? I'm giving my all. I'm even spending my own money. What did the process feel like?
I mean, of course, it was tough. I mean, like I said, there was a friend that I used to go sleep at, but sometimes they were unavailable, right? So I'd go to the gym and bath in the gym or something like that. I remember there was a time, like I said, I'd spend the night at the library, but there are times when you're really tired and you're sleepy, right? Because even during the day, you can't sleep as much as you can sleep at night. It can just be a nap of 2 hours or so. But so there were times when I'd sleep in my car. And sometimes it gets cold, you'll switch on the aircon to try to warm yourself up.
Wow.
I think it got to a point whereby I don't have a problem of sinuses, but I got to experience now the sinuses. It says that actually at that time I even thought I have a toothache.
Yeah.
And when I went to the dentist did all the scans, like, no, my guy, there's nothing. The way it was so painful, I even got to ask them for, is it called anesthesia? Or is it called that thing to make you sleep or to take the pain away and all that? Yeah, so until I got to that point whereby I was now very sick from the way I was living.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, no, this is not on. But now I got to learn that actually was something that I had to outgrow.
Yes.
And I couldn't have read it anywhere, or
You had to go through
I
it.
had to go through that process.
It's part of the process. And I love it. And I wish that one day you could write a book about your life story, how you grew up, and the principles that your parents instilled in you, how they enabled you to get this far, all your failures, all your wins, because we need that. This journey it's a journey, and there's process to it.
Yeah, true.
Greatness goes hand in hand with there are costs. There are costs to it. So my plea is that when the time is right, please write a book, because you will be you're an example of excellence, yes. But it's very important for our children to know that there's also a process that we need to appreciate. When things get hard, we can't give up. We need to go back to those books to say, if he got this far, how did he overcome the failures, the doubts and the fear? We also need to learn about that, because most don't make it on the other side, because when they get to that, they just say, it's not for me. So, Dr. Katlego Sebogodi, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I still believe that there's more work to be done.
Yeah.
And our country is really privileged to have such talent and excellence. And I love how you are willing to do anything to share with the young people that are coming, the schools that you are taking care of, mentoring the young boys that you are mentoring. May God continue to bless you greatly and enable you to do great impact, because we need that. Our country needs more people like you. So from me, I just want to say thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I believe that people are going to enjoy this, because I've learned so much, and there's still more that we need to discuss. When the app is out and running, I'll be the one to reach out to say, come back. Let's show them the results.
Okay, thank you. And even that part of the book, I will write it, because the young people, they get to see you and they think that your path is just only smooth.
It's smooth,
Like, for example, when I was at VETS, I was doing actual science.
Yeah.
And I was not doing well at school, such that I even got to lose my sponsor. Wow. And for that, I had to drop out from the university.
And we don't know about them. We only know about the wins.
They just get to see doctor, but they don't know the things that you've been through. They think that everything has just been...
There's a process to this.
Yeah, but I will think about that, the part of writing the book, so that...
When the time is right, it will happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Sebogodi, for your time. And from me to you, much love. And please continue to subscribe and give us so much support. Until next time.